panelists will be done. The introduction of these panelists will be done a little later by Mr. Manoj Gulsani, an equally distinguished panelist and moderator in his own way. I'd just like to make a small introduction about graceful living. My name is Naval Pandol. I act as the advisor to Tulsi Trust. One of the main activities that Tulsi Trust is carrying on today is graceful living, which is an activity which is made mainly for the care of the elderly, whether in Bombay or suburbs or outside also. We have been there for almost 3 years. We will be celebrating our 3rd anniversary next month. Graceful living is a major part of Tulsi Trust. Tulsi Trust, which was set up in 1975 by the Chandrai family, has slowly been evolving into taking care of health, education, skills development, and now finally in the last 3 years, as I said, the elder care. These webinars that we are talking about and the one we are conducting today is just one part of a series of webinars that we have been doing over the last 2-3 years with the help of Mr. Gulsani, with the help of Active and other sponsors who have been very, very kind in giving their efforts and their time to this particular activity. So without much ado, I'd like to hand you over to Mr. Gulsani, who I will be introducing the 4 panelists and the mode in which the webinar further. Very much over to you.
Thank you, Naval, for a good start. And good evening to everybody, to the panelists and who are watching us on Zoom and on various social media platforms. Welcome to yet another webinar, which, as Naval rightly said, organized by Graceful Living. And we also have got support and continued support of Mahendra Singh from Able Living. And of course, Raju Hirani and Ranjit's wife have been great supporters also. And today's subject is on mental aspects of aging, and we keep changing the subject matter depending on the brainstorming we have and the need of the hour. And our esteemed panelists today are, which has been mentioned also in the e-invite, but I'll repeat that, Dr. N. Prem. He's a consultant geriatric medicine, elder care specialist, Jaslok Hospital and Graceful Living. Amruta Patil Pimple, founder Echoing Health Aging. Dr. Jayashree Das Gupta, co-founder and project director of Samvedna Senior Care, and gerontologist and project coordinator, Graceful Living. And of course, supported by the Tulsi Trust, clearly supported by the Chandra family. Like to thank Dr. Prakash Mirchandani, Naval, who just spoke, Srinivas Sawan, Praveen Damble, and rest of the team for being so active from the time and especially during the COVID time. So also we'll keep it interactive towards the end. Those who have any questions, please put it in the chat box. And if you know whom it is being addressed to, be happy to get that. And to kickstart it, Dr. Prem, a question to you. What are and the way we will do it to the panelists, we'll keep rotating the questions. Answers could be a couple of minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, so that we don't, it's rotated, and each one will get about 2 to 3 questions during the time frame. So, Dr. Prem, welcome again. And my first question to you is, what are the common psychological problems of older adults? And what are the risk factors and stresses?
Thank you, Mr. Manoj, and it's really great to be again on the panel. And if you notice, this is something which we have been talking about throughout the pandemic, and I think this has really taken a big toll. Now, the common psychological problems often come from basically the various barriers of mental health they actually have. तो लोगों को हमेशा लगता है कि क्या ये हमारी आयु बढ़ रही है उसके वजह से हो रहा है. I mean, the most common, of course, is you can say depression hai. Then there is a sense of loss. Loss obviously happens. It could be through person, maybe it is widowhood, either spouse, whether it is actually fear of death. Then anxiety, I think, is something which is very, very common. Personality disorders are also common in older adults. Cognitive impairment will not directly come, but I think whenever we talk about depression, we should always put both of them in sync, because cognitive impairment जो memory loss है वो depression के साथ भी आ सकता है. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो अलग अलग आते हैं. And I think बहुत सारी चीजें जो unfortunately isolation की बात, it's different. It is different to say that somebody lives alone, because an alone person is not necessarily isolated. जो अकेला है वो जरूरी नहीं अकेलापन उन्हें होगा, वो independent हो सकते हैं. But isolation is something completely different. Loneliness is something completely different. I think depression and anxiety is one of the most common. जो risk factors बोल सकते हैं, increasing age तो रहता ही है. Unfortunately, a lot of times things change very, you can say, suddenly or in a large way for an older adult. Position of responsibility में है, maybe the CEO of a company. After retirement, what to do? तो करना क्या चाहिए? तो एक mentally the place that they know, loss of that place can happen. Loss can happen even finance. Actually, finance usually most older adults are secure. But एक health problem आता है और उसके बाद things can obviously go haywire. Then I think social fabric, जो social support रहता है, that is also something good. जितना अकेला है लोग, उतना chance ज़्यादा रहता है कि that you can actually have a lot of psychological issues. Another thing which I feel is very important is the physical health. Because ये जो physical health और mental health है वो काफी interrelated है. अगर आप physically fit हैं तो आप mentally fit भी हो सकते हैं. For example, if you have diabetes, hypertension, you are having a history of fall, you are bedridden, you can imagine the mental aspect really going down. Urinary incontinence, पेशाब छूट जाना, उसके बारे में बोलना भी लोगों को लगता है कि should I actually talk about it? Then a lot of times एक negative impact मैं बोलूँगा, एक belief रहता है कि suffering should be endured. I don't think वैसा कभी भी होता है. An older adult should never think that way. One of the most important things is, जो भी मैंने problems बोले और risk factors बोले, अगर आपको ऐसी चीजें कुछ हो रही हैं तो you should never sort of neglect it. Bereavement is another thing. Bereavement में there is a time. ऐसा नहीं है कि the death has actually happened and then a person months together is still thinking about that. That might be full-blown depression. So this overall is how you have to look at psychological जो problems हैं और उसके risk factors हैं. इतना याद रखिए, सिर्फ आपकी उम्र बड़ी है उसके वजह से आपको psychological problem होगा, वैसा नहीं है. Health is a state of physical, mental and social well-being. अगर आपके तीनों पुर्जे जिसको हम कह सकते हैं वो ठीक हैं तो आप mentally fit भी रहेंगे.
So Prem, thank you very much as always for simplifying. And with this, and we talked about depression. So Dr. Jayashree, the question to you would be, what are the telltale signs which a family member should look for in an elder adult from a depression point of view?
Yeah, that's a really important thing, because as Dr. Prem was mentioning, many people get confused with what is just a normal part of the challenges that they may face as older adults. Age बढ़ने के साथ साथ कई दूसरी तरह की बीमारियां भी होती हैं, उनके सब कई तरह के चेंजेस होते हैं. कभी कभी एक एज तक आप इंडिपेंडेंटली रह रहे थे, फिर उसके बाद बच्चों के पास जाना पड़ता है बिकॉज यू फेसिंग सम सॉर्ट ऑफ एन इलनेस. So many sort of changes come, and ये एक assumption है कि थोड़ा बहुत जैसे depression सभी को होता है, and that's not true. So it's very important to understand what are some of these telltale signs, and it's family members can play a big role in trying to identify this earlier. So जैसे सभी लोग आजकल बोलते हैं कि इसको डिप्रेशन है, उसको डिप्रेशन है. डिप्रेशन is a common word, but for older adults, maybe it need not always be कि वो बैठ के कहते हैं कि हमको ऐसा हम उदास हमको लग रहा है, we're feeling sad, or they may be sitting there crying. It's unlikely that they will be doing that. So depression in older adults may actually manifest somewhat differently. And some of the things that it's important to kind of watch out for are very subtle changes in their behavior. So ये हो सकता है कि like नींद में कुछ तकलीफ हो सकता है कि पहले वो पूरा एक रूटीन फॉलो करते थे, अब रात भर उनको नींद ही नहीं आती है. सो दैट कुड बी वन साइन. या फिर सो जाते हैं, फिर बाथरूम जाना पड़ता है, उसके बाद दोबारा से नींद नहीं आती है. So these are the kind of challenges which they may face, and this may increase, and this is could be one of the factors that also contributes to depression. But this could be like a very initial kind of telltale sign. बैठ के रात को बैठ के बस चिंता करते रहते हैं. So that could be one sign. Another sign is lot of tiredness. बहुत ज़्यादा थकान महसूस करना. जो कि लॉट ऑफ फैमिली मेंबर्स अज्यूम कि ये तो एक एज के बाद होता ही है, बट इफ इट इज इफ इट इज एक्सेसिव, वेरी it might be possible that it's a sign of depression. Then changes in weight, or appetite, not feeling like eating, difficulty even paying attention maybe to something that they used to enjoy doing before. पहले बैठ के खूब पूजा पाठ करते थे, अब उनका मन ही नहीं करता है पूजा पाठ करने का. That could be a telltale sign. या फिर बैठ के टीवी सीरियल्स देखते थे, आजकल जैसे बैठते हैं, टीवी चल रहा है, but when you ask them कि क्या हो रहा है टीवी सीरियल में, they can't tell you because they're not able to pay attention. So these are some of the very different ways in which it may manifest. And of course, person may express that they're feeling sad. They may say कि they want to die, and they may also cry, feel, show very obvious signs in addition to this. So various things that family members can actually watch out for.
So, Dr. Jayashree, thank you, and I will circle back to you. Thank you for elaborating and got into specifics and a very practical point of view, because most of our audience are relevant and they identify with such issues, and I'm glad you shared that. Amrita Pimple, question to you is, what is the mental health concerns in the community? Because we're talking about the entire mental aspects. So what are your thoughts on that? Please go ahead. We're talking about the entire mental aspects. So what are your thoughts on that? Please go ahead. We're talking about the entire mental aspects. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, exactly. Mental health issues are not really affecting the individual, but the family and perhaps our society as well. Now, very often what we see in our practice is there is a stigma about these health issues. We closely work with elderly who tend to have dementia, which is a neurological disease, but along with that also comes into picture behavioral symptoms which might be related to mental health. There are also cases of depression we closely work with. Now, what we have seen is these are all, though these are noticed by the individual, they don't talk about it very often. So the family caregivers, when they notice these symptoms, they go to the doctor many times and get the diagnosis done. But we have also seen they don't talk about the diagnosis of their loved one or the elderly to their relatives, family, friends, right? They many times prefer to hide it because of the stigma related to it. So much so, we actually run a support group. We have a free session that we do it for family caregivers of elderly who have dementia. And every month we do a group counseling kind of a session for these caregivers. And in one of the sessions, caregivers even came forward and said, I wish my mom would have had cancer rather than dementia. And we were surprised. She mentioned that. We said, why would you think that? She's like, it's much easier to get empathy when someone has these issues. And it was definitely very heartbreaking for the caregiver, even professionals like us, to hear that. So one thing from the community, I think wider advocacy awareness is much needed. And that's where perhaps the government also need much stronger policies on mental health. Like countries like UK, the health priority is dementia, right? Other mental health issues. So I think that's where a lot of policy making is required. At the same time, while we wait for government to implement these. Each and everyone who is attending here, they may not have specific mental health issue, but they could very well be called as champion after this session who are attending, and they could look for some of the signs like what Dr. Jayashree has mentioned, Dr. Prem has mentioned. And if they see those around them, with family, friends, neighbors, they should encourage them to go to the professional, right? So it could be the psychotherapist, it could be the psychiatrist. In case of elderly population, they can even go to a gerontologist. So one thing we have seen is community has to play a wider role in encouraging people around them to get diagnosis, right diagnosis. Secondly, what is interestingly coming up, because even in India, we see there are very few doctors available for the, so I think there is like one doctor for 1,000 or 1,500 patients in India. When it comes to psychiatrist, I was reading it's one psychiatrist per lakh of patient in India. So definitely we don't have enough professionals who can very efficiently, effectively offer care throughout their diagnosis. So here what could play a role is the social prescription, which is again a very common practice. Even in UK we have seen. So social prescription, very interesting concept where the psychiatrist is prescribing anyone say who has depression along with the medication. They tell them you need to sign up for a music class, or you need to go for the swimming class, or you need to go to the park and meet your friends, right? So these are a lot of community activities that are recommended as part of a treatment. So I think that's where a lot of us, we as professionals, we as individuals, could come together and offer these supports through support group, through activities where people with mental health issues are accepted very well. During their diagnosis, they are well supported, and their family members as well. So definitely, if we create more awareness in the community, we create champions in our community, they will be able to support people with mental illness, especially elderly, more effectively, along with, of course, the doctor as well.
Thank you, Amrita. So one key takeaway, and which is a nice term to use, is social prescription in how to learn more music or an instrument, etc. And that's a great takeaway amongst various other jewels which you just shared. And with this, we have an Amrita with a U. And Amrita, so what's the difference between mental and emotional health?
Okay, so it's good to be back in this webinar after quite a long time. एंड ये मेंटल हेल्थ जब भी हम लोग बोलते हैं तो काफी डरते हैं हम लोग इससे. तो मेंटल मतलब टुवर्ड्स लूजिंग योर माइंड, दैट इज द जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ इट. तो ये जो है परसों कुछ एक फिल्म भी आई थी एंड दे हैड कॉल्ड इट क्या मेंटल है क्या, एंड दे हैड टू चेंज इट एंड दे सेड जजमेंटल है क्या, because then they thought कि people will have different perceptions around it. तो ये जो अभी हम मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में जब भी हम लोग बात करते हैं तभी that deals with behaviors that relate to the mind or the brain. So these are issues that are resulting from chemical imbalances in the brain. So like issues like depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, तो इनके लिए एक एक्चुअल डायग्नोसिस है. ओके जब भी हम लोग इमोशनल हेल्थ की बात करते हैं, सो दीज आर एक्चुअली इश्यूज दैट डील विद द हार्ट. Okay, and these are issues that tend to develop when people have to deal with traumatic or maybe negative life events, and this is basically the non-diagnosable stuff. Okay, so that doesn't fall into the category of an actual diagnosis or maybe psychopathology. So basically जब भी हम लोग emotional health की बात करते हैं तो that is the state of your feelings, and it also involves the ability to manage your emotions in a very appropriate in a mature way. So basically इमोशनल हेल्थ जब भी हम लोग बात करते हैं तो इश्यूज दैट आर नॉट कंपाउंडेड, जो हम लोग देखते हैं कि कुछ नेगेटिव इवेंट हो जाता है तो देन हमारा जो डेली फंक्शनिंग है उसमें अफेक्ट होता है, खाना पीना अफेक्ट होता है, वी डोंट फील लाइक डूइंग थिंग्स. सो दैट इज बेसिकली द डिफरेंस बिटवीन इमोशनल हेल्थ एंड मेंटल हेल्थ. सो इमोशनल हेल्थ इज बेसिकली डीलिंग विद द issues of the heart, and mental health is basically issues of the mind. तो इसके ऊपर एक छोटी सी आपको कहानी बताना चाहूंगी. I'll just make it quick. और कैसे you know मतलब वृद्धों के प्रश्नों के ऊपर ये जुड़ती है. So quickly one story which I had read and which stayed with me. तो ये जो है कुछ इमोशंस एक आइलैंड पे रहते हैं और उनको पता चलता है कि एक ना मतलब वो जो आइलैंड है वो डूबने वाला है, दैट इज गोइंग टू गेट सबमर्ज्ड. सो सब लोग अपनी अपनी जो नाव है या बोट है वो तैयार करना शुरू कर देते हैं. तो वही आइलैंड पे प्रेम करके एक भावना होती है. तो जो मेन कैरेक्टर है ये स्टोरी का, तो तो प्रेम करके एक भावना होती है और बाकी साथ दूसरे अलग अलग भावना होते हैं, जैसे हैं हैप्पीनेस, सैडनेस, व्हाटएवर. तो ये प्रेम जो है वो अपनी नाव, जो अपनी बोट है वो तैयार नहीं कर सकती है. तो इसके लिए उसको दूसरे भावनाओं से उसको मदद लेनी पड़ती है. तो सबसे पहले जाती है वो ऐश्वर्या के पास. तो ऐश्वर्या यानी यू नो वेल्थ, रिचेस. मैं ऐश्वर्या राय की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. ऐश्वर्या के पास जाती है और ऐश्वर्या को पूछती है कि मैं आपके बोट के में आ सकती हूँ क्या. तो ऐश्वर्या बोलता है कि नहीं, आप नहीं आ सकते, मेरे बोट में बहुत गीला हो जाएगा, तो आप मत आइए. फिर वो हैप्पीनेस के पास जाती है, तो हैप्पीनेस को पूछती है. तो हैप्पीनेस, उनको बोट मिल गई, इसमें इतना खुश होता है कि हैप्पीनेस ध्यान ही नहीं देता है. आगे सैडनेस के पास जाती है. तो सैडनेस जो है वो इतना दुखी होता है कि वो उसको जगह ही नहीं देता है. तो प्रेम जो है वो बहुत दुखी हो जाती है और दुखी हो जाने के बाद उसको एक वृद्ध भावना की आवाज आती है. तो वो वृद्ध भावना बोलती है कि मैं आपको दूसरे आइलैंड पे लेके जाऊंगी, और उसको दूसरे आइलैंड पे लेके जाती है. और वो दूसरे आइलैंड के पास लेके जाने के बाद उसको पता चलता है कि जो वृद्ध भावना ने मुझे बचाया है उसका नाम ही मैंने नहीं पूछा. तो इसके लिए प्रेम जो है वो उसके बाजू में नॉलेज खड़ा होता है. तो नॉलेज को पूछती है कि भाई मेरे को किसने बचाया, कौन से ऐसे भावना ने बचाया. तो तभी उसको नॉलेज कहता है कि जिसने आपको बचाया वो है टाइम, आपको काल ने बचाया. तो फिर प्रेम पूछती है कि क्यों मुझे सिर्फ काल ने या टाइम ने ही क्यों बचाया. तो तभी जो है नॉलेज उसको बोलता है बिकॉज ओनली टाइम कैन अंडरस्टैंड यू नो हाउ ग्रेट लव इज. तो ये बिकॉज ऑफ यू नो पीपल हैविंग दिस एक्सपीरियंस, विजडम. तो उनका जो है मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि ओल्डर अडल्ट्स हैव अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, नॉलेज, विजडम, पोटेंशियल, जो हमारे समाज के लिए, अच्छे के लिए उसको यूटिलाइज करना चाहिए.
थैंक यू अमृता. एंड आपने प्रेम का इतना नाम लिया, आई हैव टू आस्क द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू प्रेम. प्रेम, what is the role of physical illness in contributing to mental health? Sorry.
I think कहा जाता है कि you always keep talking about a coin. It is just two sides of the same coin. And अगर आप फिजिकली फिट हैं तो आप मेंटली फिट हैं, लेकिन कभी कभी आप फिजिकली फिट रहते हुए भी मेंटली फिट अनफिट हो सकते हैं. बट फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू आर समबडी हु इज, आई मीन आई जस्ट टेल यू अ वेरी बेसिक थिंग इन योर फिजिकलिटी. अगर आप बुजुर्ग हैं और आपको सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, so not hearing can actually really put you off, can give you those mind that कि दूसरे लोग आपके बारे में सोच रहे हैं and you are not able to participate in conversation, but at the same time it is correctable. तो अगर hearing aid या ear wax निकाल दे तो hearing ठीक हो जाएगा. तो फिर when that improves then obviously आप बात भी कर पाएंगे और सुन भी पाएंगे. दूसरा होता है vision. आई थिंक विजुअल भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जो डिपेंडेंसी होती है, दिखाई नहीं देना, वो भी मतलब एक सॉर्ट ऑफ एक नेसेसिटी है. और अगर वो ऑटोमेटिकली हम इम्प्रूव करें, जो बहुत सारी चीजों में कर सकते हैं, चाहे कैटरैक्ट हो चाहे ग्लोकोमा हो, तो जब वो इम्प्रूव करते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली मेंटल हेल्थ ऑब्वियसली इम्प्रूव हो. फिर डिसेबिलिटीज, अनफॉर्चुनेटली कभी कभी चाहे वो मेजर एक्सीडेंट हो या कोई फॉल हो, ऐसे डिसेबिलिटीज हो जाते हैं तो परमानेंट हो जाते हैं. तो दैट रियली पुट्स एन ओल्डर अडल्ट डाउन, क्योंकि जो सेंस ऑफ क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ है, इंडिपेंडेंस है, आत्मनिर्भरता है, वो कम हो जाती है. एंड व्हेन समबडी फील्स दैट कि डिपेंडेंट होना पड़ेगा दूसरों पे, तो दैट कैन टेक अ रियल हिट टू द मेंटल हेल्थ. एंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स होता क्या है कि एक ओल्डर अडल्ट उस टाइम तक ठीक था, बट अ फॉल, और उसके बाद कुछ ऐसा हुआ, हिप फ्रैक्चर या जो हुआ, उसके वजह से डिपेंडेंसी बढ़ गई. But there are sort of illnesses like COPD हो, हार्ट फेलियर हो, स्ट्रोक हो, आप अपना आपको सांस लेने में दिक्कत हो रही है, या you have problem in moving, you can't talk well, speech can be affected in stroke. In Parkinson's, you can't move, difficulty in walking. So all these things, obviously, urinary incontinence, another which I already mentioned, वही दिमाग में रखना कि नहीं, मतलब अगर मैं पब्लिक में गया या गई और मैं सडनली इफ आई लूज कंट्रोल ऑन योर यूरिन, तब क्या होगा? अगेन ट्रीटेबल थिंग्स शुड बी ट्रीटेड. इसीलिए ये जो फिजिकल इलनेसेस है जिसको ट्रीट कर सकते हैं उसको हमेशा करना चाहिए. एंड लॉन्ग स्टैंडिंग इलनेसेस, क्रोनिक इलनेसेस है, जैसे लंग के कंडीशन है जिसमें ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत होगी, चाहे वो सीओपीडी हो. बहुत सारे लोगों को ऑक्सीजन की रात को भी एक पंप लगाना पड़ता है जिसको हम बाईपैप बोलते हैं. स्लीप इश्यूज, आई थिंक स्लीप इश्यूज भी एक बहुत मेजर पार्ट है. स्लीप को हम काफी नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं, नहीं उम्र बढ़ गई है, स्लीप तो वैसे भी कम होगा, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है. क्वालिटी ऑफ स्लीप मैटर करती है. तो फिजिकल फिटनेस के बहुत सारे पहलू हैं. आप कितना अच्छा डाइट खाते हैं, आप कितना, आपकी जो आप खा सकते हैं कि नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक अच्छे दिन एक अच्छा खा लिया और फिर आपको गैस्ट्राइटिस हो गया तो फिर आप खाना बंद कर देंगे. कॉन्स्टिपेशन इज अनदर इशू. दीज आर ऑल थिंग्स व्हिच कैन बी वेरी इरिटेबल. और जब ज्यादा बढ़ता है ये, तो ऑब्वियसली वो मेंटल हेल्थ को बहुत हद तक प्रॉब्लमेटिक कर सकता है. इसीलिए कहा यह जाता है कि जो भी फिजिकल इश्यूज हैं उसको आप सॉर्ट आउट कीजिए. डू नॉट ट्राई टू डिले दैट. एंड एट द सेम टाइम, अगर आपको मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज हो रहे हैं, इफ यू आर फीलिंग लो, तो उसके लिए भी आपको सीक करना है. यू एक्चुअली हैव टू सीक हेल्प. तो जितना आप ज्यादा करेंगे, और मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि इस फोरम से हम अल्टीमेटली वही गोल है कि हम चाहें कि और लोग जिनको ऐसा लग रहा है वो सामने आए और एटलीस्ट हेल्प लें. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Prem, again explaining it in such a practical manner. And I know, especially during COVID times and other times, I have referred so many patients to you, and they've been so happy because of the approach you had with them in a practical way. And I think people understand that, and especially the caregivers. So the next question again goes to Dr. Jayashree, is for the sake of our audience, are depression and loneliness the same? And if not, how do you clearly define? Sorry, and how does the caregiver look at that sign?
Yeah, this is something which often confuses family, and it's something that's a little, it's complex. So loneliness or या अकेलापन, ये this is something we've all experienced, right? At some point or the other, we've all felt lonely. Loneliness is basically that feeling of wanting to speak with someone, wanting to connect with someone when you can't. तो ये एक एक्सपीरियंस है जो सभी जानते हैं, कभी ना कभी ये सभी के साथ हुआ है. लेकिन डिप्रेशन जो है, that is a disorder. It's a mental disorder. It is something that can be treated, as Dr. Prem was mentioning, and therefore you need to identify depression based on some of the earlier signs that I spoke about. Now, there is a certain things that I just want to mention, which I think will help families understand the difference between loneliness and depression. So one thing is, and another fact, which is staying alone. So recently एक study में देखा गया है कि about 6% of elderly population India में they stay alone, अकेले रहते हैं बिना किसी family के support के साथ. And loneliness is this state of not being able to connect with someone. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो अकेले रहते हैं उन्हीं को loneliness feel होता है या उन्हीं को depression होता है. That's not true. Because a person who is able to stay alone, who's able to remain independent, engage in activities, and still have social connections, even if they're not staying with their family, remain connected with their family, that person may not have this sense of loneliness. So it's important to understand that loneliness is something that we may experience, but we can get over that when we experience it initially, it's something that we need to become aware of and understand. We have to reach out to people, make those kind of social connections, even if they don't exist. Because what happens with aging is that naturally a lot of people lose their close friends, lose relatives, and there's a lot of change in their life circumstances, which means they may not have the kind of support systems with whom they were comfortable earlier to reach out and talk to. So, how does someone notice when someone is becoming lonely and when it is depression? So, some signs of loneliness may be that a person may just feel less motivated to talk. Like maybe they are just previously, now during the COVID pandemic, this was something that we saw, that people were connecting more using phone calls. So, pehle maybe someone was calling every day to talk to a family member or to talk to somebody else, and then they said ki they didn't feel like talking. Why was this happening? Because maybe they were feeling that they were not able to really express themselves through that call or make that sort of connection that they wanted. So that could be one thing that happens. Another sign is that maybe they become more withdrawn, and stop talking. So in even in a family setting, so a person can experience loneliness even if they're within a family setting. So if they feel that they don't have that kind of circle or support where they can truly express themselves. So it's important, therefore, for families also to try and understand that it takes an effort, an extra effort, to remain connected with older adults so that they don't experience this. Because it's very natural that when someone is trying to engage in some sort of a relationship and it's not very satisfying, or they're trying to communicate something, और हम सुन नहीं रहे कि कई बार ऐसे लगता है कि you kind of younger members in the family may feel कि क्या वो एक ही चीज बार बार बताते रहते हैं. That is their way of engaging, that is their way of communicating, and then they are able to experience and understand that someone is not really interested in sitting with them and listening to this. And that is often a starting point for when an older adult begins to feel lonely. So yes, it does take some extra effort maybe from family members, but it's important for them to understand that this is one way where they can help keep them motivated, help make them understand that it's important for them to express whatever they want to, however they feel like. And that, that sort of connection can help them reduce loneliness. And definitely, because loneliness is a risk factor for depression, which is a disorder, can reduce those risks as well.
Thank you, Jayashree, for your clarity and communication. And with that, the next question is to Amrita. Amrita, how do you care for someone with mental health issues?
Right. So, interestingly, once the diagnosis is done, the first help is offered to the family, I would say. Because what we have seen is with the mental health issues when they are diagnosed, right? So, is the family first who is in denial that ऐसे कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, डिप्रेशन नहीं, वो उनका सिर्फ मूड ही ठीक नहीं है, so they will tell them चलो बाहर जाते हैं, आपका मूड ठीक करते हैं. So many times there is resistance in the family itself. This is something personally I've experienced. My neighbor, she once came to me. I had never met her. She just in the morning, she rang my bell, came in, and she said, someone told, she said, no, your mother-in-law told me that you work with elderly people, and especially around the mental health. And मुझे हमेशा बहुत एंजाइटी जैसे घबराहट होती है, मूड ठीक नहीं रहता है, तो मैं क्या करूँ? So then I referred her to the nearby psychiatrist. She went to the psychiatrist. She started taking medicine, and she came back saying, I'm feeling much better. But next time when she came to me, she's like, my doctor is saying don't take these medicines क्योंकि you are putting on weight, आपका mood ठीक हो गया है लेकिन आपकी health is not okay, because many times these medication might have some side effects, right? So it was the family who was resisting her, and sadly she did not have her husband. He had passed away long back. So it was the person who had mental health issue. She was seeking help. She managed to get it, but the family was resisting that you shouldn't take these medicines. They are very strong. Sometimes we have also seen that families feel, especially if it is something like a chronic issue which cannot be treated, but it can be managed at home. families start running around meeting more and more doctors. एक डॉक्टर ने बोला है ये आपको घर पे मैनेज करना है या मेडिकेशन से मैनेज करना है, but it's not reversible. So families will start visiting more and more doctor. अपने यहाँ पूजा पाठ किया जाता है, you know, lot of those things also happen. So first thing, we always feel that initial knowledge right now is not available in our community. So doctors, other social care workers should definitely focus on giving awareness and training then and there to the family members first. After that, in terms of caring, once the family is trained, they are able to get better interventions for their loved one who is going through this issue. What we have also seen is what works well is getting the help to the person rather than sending person to certain center or a therapy. Especially with depression, that is something prominently we have seen, that elderly with depression does not want to go anywhere. They are just sitting at home, not even ready. Many times when our psychologists go visit them, they are not even ready to look at them, forget talking about it or doing some other therapies. So it's a slow process. So families also need to be trained on that. It will take some time, maybe couple of months for a person to get better. So you need to have that patience, but things will get better, you know, giving that confidence. So the home therapies, home care might work very well initially, and later the person could be also given some help outside as well. Having said that, it might be many times expensive as well, caring for someone with mental health issue, especially if it is a long-term therapy we are looking at. So again, letting these family members, even the person who has mental health issue, know about certain programs that they can take benefit of, because there are, like, even I know Tulsi Trust has been doing a lot of work for elderly. They have been very kind as well to provide support. And there are many such organization, NGOs, who can even help with the treatment, especially when people find it not affordable. So caring is definitely something a family as a group and the person who is going through the illness should be trained on, should be provided help on. And support groups also, we have found they are very useful. Support groups are either for the person who is going through that mental health issue. So there are other people who are going through similar issue. They come together, talk about these things. We have been talking a lot about loneliness, isolation. So many times these people with the issue or their caregivers, when they come together, they say, you know, it's quite nice to share our feelings with someone who understands that, right? We feel less lonely when we see other caregivers going through the similar issue or other people who are going through the similar mental health issue. So definitely a lot could be done in terms of caring. And along with the medication, there are also some other therapies, especially many times outside we have seen, once the person is diagnosed, they are also referred to social care, to social workers. Amrita has done a lot of work in that as well. So, you know, social workers can play a great role in terms of counseling them as well, providing more hands-on support. Psychologists for counseling. Then, of course, the follow-up regular visits to the doctors are equally important.
Thanks, Amrita, and for sharing your whole thing. And especially, I totally agree that especially Tulsi Trust and Graceful Living has done a tremendous job, especially during the pandemic. In fact, the birth of a webinar and the whole conversation began with that. I've seen a lot of other points coming up on the chat, but I will come to that later. And Amrita, question to you is, what are the psychological changes that occur in old age? Amrita, can't hear you. You'll have to unmute yourself.
ओके तो जनरली ये जो है हम लोग हमेशा ओल्ड एज को नेगेटिव थिंग्स के साथ एसोसिएट करते हैं. तो ओल्ड एज इज एसोसिएटेड विद डेथ, ओल्ड एज इज एसोसिएटेड विद डिटीरियोरेशन, ओल्ड एज इज एसोसिएटेड विद डिक्लाइन. तो वृद्धत्व में कुछ अच्छा हो सकता है या वृद्धत्व में कुछ एडवांटेजेस हैं, तो ये जनरली हम लोग कभी इसके बारे में ज्यादा हम लोग सोच विचार नहीं करते हैं. तो बहुत सारा रिसर्च हुआ है जिसमें द फैक्ट दैट एजिंग will be associated with diminished faculties, ये पूरे तरीके से अभी इसको पूरे तरीके से निगेट कर दिया है। और बहुत सारी हम लोग फिजिकल चेंजेस वृद्धत्व में क्या होते हैं तो इसके बारे में हम लोगों को जानकारी होती है, बट ये साइकोलॉजिकल चेंजेस क्या होंगे तो इसके बारे में जनरली हमें जानकारी नहीं होती है। तो यही हम लोग सुनते रहते हैं, आइसोलेशन होता है, डिप्रेशन होता है, एंजाइटी, पर कुछ साइकोलॉजिकल चेंजेस जो अच्छे भी होते हैं, जो पॉजिटिव भी होते हैं, उसके बारे में भी थोड़ा हम लोगों को मालूम होना चाहिए। तो कौन से हैं ये चेंजेस, क्या क्या होता है? सबसे पहले तो ये है कि जो हम लोग कॉग्निटिव डिक्लाइन, जो लोगों को लगता है कि शरीर का जो डिटीरियोरेशन होता है उसके साथ साथ हमारे माइंड का भी डिटीरियोरेशन होगा या फिर कॉग्निटिव डिक्लाइन भी होगा, तो ये जनरली सच नहीं है। सबको कॉग्निटिव डिक्लाइन होगा ये हम बोल नहीं सकते हैं। ओके, तो दूसरी बात ये है कि हम लोग बहुत सारे सालों से करते आए हैं, तो हमारी जो प्रोसीजरल मेमोरी होती है, यानी कुछ भी हम लोग पहले से समझो खाना बनाने का प्रोसीजर है, ड्राइविंग का प्रोसीजर है, तो ये अगर हम लोग पहले से करते आ रहे हैं तो ये जो प्रोसीजरल मेमोरी है वो इंटैक्ट रहती है। दूसरा ये होता है कि अटेंशन देने की जो हमारी क्षमता है तो वो भी हमेशा, मतलब ज्यादातर हम लोग देखते हैं कि वृद्धों के लिए बहुत सारे लर्निंग कोर्सेस परदेश में होते हैं, जिसको हम लोग थर्ड एज यूनिवर्सिटी कोर्सेज बोलते हैं, तो जहाँ पे वृद्धों ने सीखना चाहिए, उनको लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज होनी चाहिए। तो सस्टेन्ड अटेंशन भी वृद्धत्व में हो सकता है। दूसरा एक ये होता है, हम लोग बच्चों के साथ काफी सेंसिटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम्स करते थे, और उसमें जब भी हम लोग बच्चों को पूछते थे कि वृद्धत्व के बारे में आपको क्या लगता है, तो बच्चे कहते थे कि वृद्ध जो है वो सठिया जाते हैं। तो ये सच नहीं है, उनको लगता है कि हमारा जो इंटेलिजेंस है वो भी कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा बहुत कॉग्निटिव डिक्लाइन के साथ कम हो जाता है। तो ये इंटेलिजेंस भी बिल्कुल कम नहीं होता है, ऑन द कॉन्ट्ररी, जिसको रिसर्च में हम लोग क्रिस्टलाइज्ड इंटेलिजेंस कहते हैं। तो यानी हमारा जो विजडम है, एक्सपीरियंस है, जो हमारा अनुभव है, वो ज्यादा और स्ट्रांग होता है। दूसरा एक एडवांटेज है साइकोलॉजिकल चेंज जो होता है, पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजिकल चेंज के बारे में मैं बात कर रही हूँ, कि एक जो अनोखा चेंज है दैट इज कॉल्ड पैटर्न मैचिंग। पैटर्न मैचिंग हम लोग बोलते हैं। तो ये हम लोग देखते हैं कि समझो अगर हम लोग एक डॉक्टर को लेते हैं, तो समझो एक रेडियोलॉजिस्ट है जो समझो एक्सरेज वगैरह देखते हैं, तो बिकॉज an older radiologist maybe has seen 5,000 maybe x-rays over a period of time, over maybe 30 years, 35 years, तो अगर समझो कुछ डिफेक्ट्स है तो उसको ट्रैक करने में या फिर उसके पैटर्न समझने में एक रेडियोलॉजिस्ट बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकता है। तो अगर आपको समझो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाना है, तो जिसने 5,000 एक्सरेज देखे हैं आप उसके पास जाएंगे, या फिर एक यंग रेडियोलॉजिस्ट जिसने सिर्फ 5 या 10 एक्सरेज देखे आप उसके पास जाएंगे। तो ये जो साइकोलॉजिकल पॉजिटिव चेंजेस हैं, तो इनको भी सामने रखना, मीडिया भी हमेशा वृद्धत्व के बारे में निगेटिव चीजें ही सामने लाती है, पॉजिटिव उसमें कुछ होता है इसके बारे में बिल्कुल हम लोग ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। एक सिर्फ छोटा सा और एक जो रिसर्च पूरे ऑलमोस्ट काफी सारे कल्चर्स में, कंट्रीज में हुआ है, जो यहाँ पे इतना उसके बारे में जानकारी नहीं है, कि लाइफ सेटिस्फैक्शन वृद्धत्व में दैट फॉलोज अ यू शेप्ड कोर्स। मतलब ऐसे कहा गया है कि हमारा जो हमारा नेगेटिव परसेप्शन है कि वृद्धत्व यानी लोनलीनेस, वृद्धत्व यानी डिजीज, वृद्धत्व यानी आइसोलेशन, उससे ही अपोजिट अगर हम लोग रिसर्च में देखते हैं तो इट फॉलोज अ यू शेप्ड कोर्स। मतलब वो कह रहे हैं कि चाइल्डहुड में मतलब लाइफ सेटिस्फैक्शन या फिर हैप्पीनेस विथ लाइफ होता है, और दूसरा ओल्ड एज में लाइफ सेटिस्फैक्शन होता है। जो प्रॉब्लम बॉटम लाइफ सेटिस्फैक्शन जो एकदम कम होता है, वो जनरली मिडिल एज में होता है, वेयर अ पर्सन हैज टू टेक ऑन अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज, स्ट्रेसेस होते हैं। तो ये जनरली जो अच्छी चीजें होती हैं, साइकोलॉजिकल चेंजेस जो अच्छे होते हैं, वो जनरली हमको बताए ही नहीं जाते, या फिर हम लोग उसके ऊपर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, या फिर इसके बारे में हम लोग जानकारी हासिल करने की कोशिश नहीं करते हैं। एक सिर्फ बात बोलना चाहूंगी कि रिसर्च में ऐसे कहा गया है कि द पीक एज ऑफ हैप्पीनेस इज 82 years, यानी 82 साल में आप पीक पे पहुंच सकते हैं। ओके, तो ये जनरली चीजें सामने नहीं आती हो और जो आनी चाहिए, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
Thank you, Amrita. That was wonderful. 82 years, huh? That's a new revelation.
या 82।
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
With that, Dr. Prem, to you, and we will now do this final wrap up round kind of things and some comments which I'll raise to the panelists. Prem, what are the red flags one should look at in mental health with regards to mental health in older adults?
Yeah, I think it's very important for the caregivers and the relatives and the older adults themselves. तो एक तो है कि मतलब थोड़ी confused thinking होना, कि कंसंट्रेशन नहीं हो पाना, एक टॉपिक खत्म हो गया पर दूसरा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। फिर प्रोलॉन्ग सैडनेस, मतलब दुखी होना, इरिटेबली होना, ज्यादा उसके बारे में बात नहीं करना। फिर एक्सट्रीम हाइज एंड लोज, तो मतलब कभी कभी इमोशंस बहुत ज्यादा होना, बहुत खुश होना, और कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा लो होना। और ये चेंज इतना ज्यादा सडनली हो रहा है कि ओल्डर एडल्ट भी बता नहीं पा रहा कि मूड इतना ऊपर नीचे क्यों हो। फिर एक्सेसिव वरीज, फियर्स, एंजाइटीज, कि मतलब मैं तो ठीक हूँ, उसका क्या होगा, घर पे नहीं आया, क्या होगा, कुछ हो रहा होगा, मे बी इसके लिए लेट हो रहा होगा, फोन करो। तो दैट इंक्रीजिंग, नॉर्मली ओल्डर एडल्ट्स आर वरीसम, बट द फैक्ट दैट इट माइट एक्चुअली इंक्रीज। फिर एक बहुत ही ज्यादा बॉन्डिंग वाले, जो मतलब सोशल इसमें बहुत ज्यादा कनेक्टेड थे, टोटली सोशल विड्रॉल, दूसरों से बात ही नहीं करना, एक कुछ कॉन्वर्सेशन ही नहीं करना। पहले लाफ बहुत ज्यादा हंसते थे, अभी बिल्कुल ही कुछ भी रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं रहता है। फिर खाने और सोने में कुछ ड्रामेटिक चेंजेस होना, कि मतलब खाना समय पे खाते थे, अभी खा ही नहीं रहे, भूल जा रहे, नहीं चाहिए, इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, मुझे मुझे नहीं खाना, नींद बिल्कुल नहीं आना। फिर बहुत मतलब एंगर आउटबर्स्ट होना, गुस्सा होना, बहुत नेगेटिव फीलिंग्स आना, बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा दिखाना, कि मतलब मैं बिल्कुल ही खुश नहीं हूँ, पर वो बोल नहीं पा रहे कि वो कितने खुश हैं। फिर थोड़े स्ट्रेंज थॉट्स, कंफ्यूज थॉट्स होना, बोलना कि मतलब सोसाइटी में क्या चल रहा है, मैं बहुत गुस्सा हूँ, उसके बारे में मैं कुछ करना चाहता हूँ। फिर कभी कभी देयर कुड बी सीइंग एंड हियरिंग थिंग्स, ऑफ कोर्स दिस इज हैलुसिनेशंस, कि मतलब सुनाई दे रहा है, कुछ दिखाई दे रहा है जो चीजें हैं नहीं, तो ये रेड फ्लैग्स है। फिर एक चीज जो बहुत इमरजेंट, आई वुड से कि डॉक्टर के पास जाना बहुत जरूरी है, कि अगर सुसाइडल थॉट्स आ रहे हैं, बुजुर्ग बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं मुझे बहुत नेगेटिव रह रहा है, मैं जीना नहीं चाहती हूँ, और जो मरे हुए लोग हैं उनके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं कि वो कितने ज्यादा अभी मेंटली ज्यादा हैप्पी होंगे मेरे से। और जो पर्सन मे बी एक मॉडरेट, मे बी थोड़ा सा अल्कोहल लेते थे या सब्सटेंस यूज करते थे, उनका यूज और ज्यादा बढ़ जाना, तो बेसिकली अपने आप को ड्राउन कर देना अल्कोहल यूज में, स्मोकिंग में या दूसरी चीजों में। तो ये थोड़े रेड फ्लैग साइंस होते हैं नए वालों के लिए। अगर लोगों को ऑलरेडी ऑफ कोर्स मेंटल इलनेसेस हैं, तो फिर फॉर एग्जांपल किसी को बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर होता है, तो सडनली ऊपर चल जाना, सडनली नीचे होना, बहुत ज्यादा एक्साइटेबल भी होना और बहुत ज्यादा दुखी भी होना, तो कभी कभी बहुत लोगों को मारना, चीखना, चिल्लाना, तो ये सब चीजें भी हो सकती है। रेड फ्लैग्स कहा क्यों जाता है, क्योंकि इस टाइम में आप एटलीस्ट कोई हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल उनसे बात कीजिए, उसको टैबू मत बनाइए कि नहीं ये अभी ये तो मतलब साइकोटिक हो गया है। द वर्ड, आई हेट द वर्ड pagal, which should never be mentioned in any forum at all for a patient. Any patient should never be addressed in that way. बट ये टैबू होता है कि नहीं साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास क्यों जाना है, जीरियाट्रिस्ट के पास क्यों जाना, साइकोलॉजिस्ट क्या करेगा। आई मीन नो ऑफेंस टू जयश्री, शी ऑब्वियसली नोज द फैक्ट दैट पीपल इन जनरल से कि बात तुम आप भी करते हो, आप कर लो, व्हाई शुड आई गो एंड स्पेंड सम टाइम विद अनदर पर्सन, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा। आई मीन दीज आर ऑफ कोर्स थिंग्स की मतलब नॉट टू सॉर्ट ऑफ गो फॉर इट। तो मैं एज अ कैरियर पर्सपेक्टिव ये कहूंगा कि ये सब चीजें आप देखिए और प्लीज हेल्प सीक आउट कराइए, क्योंकि बहुत सारे टाइम में ओल्डर एडल्ट खुद नहीं जानता है कि ये सब चीजें हो रहे हैं, और आप अगर उसको एजिंग ब्रांड कर देंगे तो मिस हो जाएगा। और डिप्रेशन लेट डायग्नोज करना, सुसाइडल टेंडेंसीज तक पहुंच जाना बहुत ज्यादा लेट हो जाता है, तो इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर टू नो अर्लियर। तो एजुकेट कीजिए अपने आप को, फाइंड आउट मोर अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ, टॉक टू पीपल, mental health awareness is very important. Use these forums to actually clear your doubt and try to spread the word. ये नहीं कि हम ये सीख चुके हैं, ट्राई टू स्प्रेड द वर्ड टू अदर्स ऑल्सो कि ऐसा होगा या ऐसा नहीं है। नेगेटिविटी नहीं होनी चाहिए मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में। जितना नेगेटिव होगा उतना कम बात करेंगे, और जितना ज्यादा बात करेंगे उतना पॉजिटिविटी स्प्रेड होगी।
Thank you, Dr. Prem, and thank you for again sharing in a very simplified manner. I'll just share a few thoughts which have been shared by some of the participants, and then after this, Dr. Jayashri, you can respond with your thoughts, whatever you feel like, and each panelist can then respond. So one of the thoughts are gratitude and thanks. Okay, that was that's an appreciation. One thought is on loneliness. It can be overcome by communication. I think that's a point of view. And another is, one is mentioned about the physical movement is limited, then how to overcome. Brand new trend to texting, but people don't like to take, but that's unfortunately the trend developing. It's all WhatsApp world and social media, especially in the younger, and it's coming to the elder generation also. And some have mentioned they get angry because they're unable to communicate, some elderly, and some of the elder folks are also stubborn and obstinate, and we have to change with the present moment. And so various point of view, some have talked about ego, and Dr. Jayashri, you are qualified to comment on these points, and then we will take it to Amruta, and then we'll do a wrap up. So Jayashri, over to you.
Thank you. I think these are all very important points, and I think a lot of the things that people have shared are talking about changes and ways of communicating, or changes in life जिसकी वजह से they begin to feel lonely. And also, I think about how almost like a stigma about the way older adults are perceived in society, and the kind of reactions or the way that younger generations interact and respond with them. कि आजकल कोई किसी के पास टाइम ही नहीं है कि बैठ के बात कर ले, टेक्स्ट करते हैं, मैसेजेस भेजते हैं सब लोग व्हाट्सएप पे, बट एक फोन कॉल पे बात करने का किसी के पास टाइम नहीं है. सो यस, वर्ल्ड इज वेरी बिजी, थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग. Why don't we start leveraging some of these and making this an advantage? I think pandemic mein, one thing that we have seen at Samvedna, we actually provide a lot of intellectual companionship to older adults. जिनको ऐसा लगता है कि they have nobody to talk to. We actually have care specialists who provide them that sort of stimulation. Because this, and one of the things we've realized as professionals is that not only are we helping older adults, but they're also helping us, because it's not only a one-way exchange of information. So clearly, I think I think it's almost like a responsibility that we should have to just be very aware of certain changes and see how we can leverage them to our benefit. For example, even if we are texting or we are using this kind of communication, let's use it to reach out to elderly who have physical limitations, cannot come to us. Why can't we call them, engage in that, give them that sort of time via phone calls, video calls? These are advantages we wouldn't have thought of earlier. So let's leverage that to our advantage. And definitely, I think one thing I think we need to, I mean, just as a general comment, I think we can all help older adults who are feeling lonely, or I think there was some comment that may have been alluding to this, was about feeling that you have done everything in your life and अब कुछ करने का है और बाकी नहीं है, and that's why I'm feeling lonely or I'm upset कि मैं करूँ क्या, I can't understand. So I think that there's also a social responsibility here, and it's important for everyone to see how we can create some sort of new meaning, some sort of new purpose, because I think if, as a younger generations, if we actually step back, there's a lot to learn from the experience and the wisdom that older generations have, and that will require a lot of patience from the younger generation. So I think it's very important just to bear this in mind. and I think for a lot of families who have either older adults living with them or who have older adults whom they are not living with. So take out time, call them, spend that time speaking to them if you're not living with them. If you are living together, engage in an activity like, एक साथ बैठ के खाना खाना. आजकल किसी के पास ये टाइम ही नहीं है. फोन टेबल पे एक साथ बैठ के खाना खाते हैं, तब भी फोन पे सब लोग अपना मैसेजेस देखते रहते हैं. That's a wonderful time where you can actually exchange conversations. And sometimes older adults always surprise me with the things that they haven't shared over these years. And then suddenly they share these bits of information, and you're actually amazed कि अच्छा, they've actually done this in their life, or they would like this also, because you have a very different impression of them. So there's a lot to learn, and I think it's important to just remain open about that.
Thank you, Dr. Jayashree. You beautifully surmised it. And I'll just make a comment on this, that I have one of my older cousins, and he's going through some last stage, terminal issues, and the kids and all that stay together. He said they come, they say hi, hello, they do the duty, but once they have not come and sat with me and said, Dad, give me a hug. How do you feel? It's just ठीक है, खाना खाना है, टिक मार्क कर दिया, हो गया. But that was his expression. He just that held my hand, and I know you're going through that tough time. I'm with you. Just that small non-verbal communication also. You don't need to speak a lot. But anyway, I thought that is very important. And thank you for your invaluable sharing. Amrita, over to your thoughts and sharing. This is the final countdown kind of a thing. And then we'll, take it to Amrita, and then we'll finally summarize.
Yeah. I think Dr. Prem has already given us red flags, and Dr. Jayashree has already nicely summarized that, what could be done different ways as well to handle some of these concerns. So one thing we have strongly realized is, especially post-retirement for elderly, they suddenly feel that void, that there is not much to do. So when we try to think about it, what is it then? Is it the occupation? Is that what they are missing? Are they not busy anymore? Are they not doing anything at home? So it's not like that. It's really the sense of purpose that we are looking at. So every day, once you wake up in the morning, you should have something to do, right? You exactly know what you want to do. So that routine we emphasize on usually, even when we do our consultations for elderly and their family caregivers, that you want to set up a routine even when the elderly is, say, not mobile, or if they're mentally not fit, they have some chronic issues that just need treatment but better management, etc. So a routine kind of gives them a good way to look forward to the day. Next is, even when you're retired, there are a lot of things that you can do. So like taking care of your grandkids is one of the really good occupation. If at all you feel you don't have, say, family around, many times your kids are abroad, they're not around. We had, in fact, just to give you example, a couple of years back, we had done one training session in Aurangabad where they called us just to train 20 senior citizens so that they could help in the care center, which was around 2-3 care centers around them, as volunteers. So we gave them all the training that was required to volunteer for someone who is elderly. Maybe they're going through memory loss, maybe they have depression. So how to support someone who have this issue. End of 2 days, when we had the certificate distribution program, and they had called one of the psychiatrists from the city. And you wouldn't believe, all the 20 volunteers were offered a job then and there by the psychiatrist. He's saying, you need to come and visit my hospital every day because my patients need you. Right? So senior citizen can be excellent volunteers when it comes to community, supporting them. This will give them sense of purpose. Like Dr. Jayashree said, that isolation, loneliness is a very risky factor for depression and hence for dementia as well. So more you stay active physically, mentally, it will help you. It will help your family members as well. So definitely you need to look after yourself. And Mr. Manoj, you also mentioned that, sometimes certain things are missing, that they're looking for touch, they're looking for hug. But I would say, yeah, I mean, that definitely does happen. The generation is changing. Amrita and I we have done so many programs even for school kids to talk about elderly. that, how do you support your grandparents? Do you know about Alzheimer's? Do you know if they have any problem, will they talk to you? So a lot of these things are very important, and many times we just have to ask for help. I think that's what we all need to do for ourselves, that, ask for help, be it professional, be it to the family, and that could be the game changer for you. So yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, we as professional would love to help you in any ways we can. We are always available. The COVID has changed that, always we used to do home visit, in-person visit. Now we are available online as well. So a lot of these therapies, interventions are available in nominal cost now through online platform as well. So, take help of that.
Thank you, Amrita. And once again, a comment here would be that uh, I think education for caregivers, especially youngsters and growing, adults, is how important this time is. They can do all the partying in the world, they can do the socializing, nothing stops that. But the time which they have valuable, I still remember I used to spend a lot of time with my parents. I was fortunate. And I think we have to also put in the mind of our youngsters, they're not doing a favor, they're blessed to do that if they can. Of course, with the cultural change, people don't think that way. They feel it's more like a burden at times. But I still remember my mom, when I used to ring the bell, because we used to stay separately, he used to say, अच्छा, अभी मनोज आया होगा, उसका घंटी ऐसे है, दूसरे भाई का घंटी 3 घंटी होता है. So, they were waiting at that time कि their kids come. So, honestly, even though I spent a lot of time, I wish we could have spent more time. Amrita, over to you.
या सर, आई थिंक बच्चों के साथ या फिर यूथ के साथ सेंसिटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम्स करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एंड इन माय एक्सपीरियंस अलग अलग संस्थाओं के साथ करीब मतलब 3 से 4 हज़ार हम लोगों ने प्रोग्राम्स किए हैं. तो वी हैड डन अ ड्राइंग कंपटीशन विद चिल्ड्रन, जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने उनको एजिंग इश्यूज के बारे में या ओल्डर अडल्ट्स के बारे में ड्राइंग्स करने को बोला था. And as a memento, we gave them a glass, a small glass as a memento, और उसमें हम लोगों ने लिखा था कि be nice to the person you are going to be in 50 years time. तो यही मैसेज उनको कन्वे करना है कि आप लोग भी यही सिचुएशन में आने वाले हैं. अभी आप ये सिचुएशन में नहीं है. 40-50 साल के बाद अगर आपके साथ कोई इनसेंसिटिवली बिहेव करता है तो आपको कैसे लगेगा. तो ये ज्यादा से ज्यादा मुझे लगता है कोशिश करनी चाहिए. और दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग जो लोनलीनेस के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, डिप्रेशन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, और बहुत सारा रिसर्च हुआ है जिसमें ये कहा गया है कि सेंस ऑफ पर्पस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो ये जो है कि पहले से मुझे लगता है, इवन दो यू माइट नॉट बी एबल टू बी इन द प्रोफेशन एज पर योर लाइकिंग, बट मुझे क्या अच्छा लगता है, मेरे इंटरेस्ट क्या है, तो ये अगर आदमी को पता होगा तो फिर बाद में आपके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज, जॉब वगैरह होने के बाद आप उसको परस्यू कर सकते हैं. और बहुत सारे लोगों ने ये मतलब दिखा दिया है. दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग वृद्धत्व में हम लोग बहुत सारे फिजिकल लॉसेस होते हैं, चैलेंजेस होते हैं, इलनेसेस होता है, डिजीज होता है. बट मुझे लगता है there is a need to find meaning in that suffering as well. ओके और ये मुझे लगता है कि विक्टर फ्रैंकल के बारे में सर आपने सुना होगा. तो विक्टर फ्रैंकल wrote about this how to find meaning in your life. Okay, and we know that Viktor Frankl was a prisoner. He was taken in a Nazi concentration camp और करीब 4 साल तक मतलब इतना torturous क्या बोलते हैं behavior उनके साथ किया गया. His family was taken away. He was trying to write a manuscript on psychology, that was taken away. पर उसके बावजूद भी he said that even in this inhumane circumstances, I have tried to find meaning. So if we are able to find that meaning in life, या purpose in life, then I think we will be able to deal with challenges in a far better way. दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि I think everyone or maybe some of you might have heard of this book called Ikigai. तो हमारा जो purpose in life है, whatever we feel interested in, or maybe Ikigai basically means a flow. हम लोग क्या करने में हम लोग बह जाते हैं. तो ये कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है ढूंढना बहुत जरूरी है। और उसके ही साथ साथ अगर आप ये इकेगाई बुक पढ़ते हैं तो उसमें लिखा है कि स्मॉल जॉयज एंड प्लेजर्स आर आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट। या फिर आप कभी समझो यू लुक एट द सनशाइन, या फिर आप छोटे से फूल को देख लीजिए। तो ये छोटी छोटी बातें भी उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, एंड दे आल्सो हेल्प इन क्रिएटिंग अ जॉयस एटमॉस्फियर। और दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि वी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट इट कि एथिकल विल्स, हम लोग फाइनेंशियल विल्स के बारे में हमेशा बात करते हैं, बट what kind of legacy do I want to pass on to the future generations? कौन से मैंने values मैंने follow किए हैं? What are the things that I have learned in my life? What are the learnings from my life? What are the mistakes that I have committed in my life? ये सब चीजों के बारे में अगर हम लोग सोचते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारा बहुत सारे वृद्धत्व के challenges भी हम लोग ये कर सकते हैं। Frankl very beautifully has written, he has said that in the final analysis it becomes clear that the main thing is what kind of inner decision we make. तो हमारा अगर inner decision होगा कि हम लोगों को aging के challenge के साथ हम लोगों को deal करना है, तो we will be able to do that irrespective of the age, irrespective of the environment. अगर हमारा inner decision है कि हम लोग बुद्धत्व को इलनेस को हम लोग चैलेंज करेंगे, डिप्रेशन को हम लोग चैलेंज करके ओवरकम करेंगे, we will be able to overcome a lot of things, sir.
Amrita, today you're in form. Superb. So, with this, and yeah, and Amrita, on the closing remarks, what you mentioned was superb. And honestly, we felt as a Graceful Living team that our purpose during COVID time, honestly, was to engage with the senior citizen. And actually, that's how it happened, right? Because the webinar series which we started with, Prem was there, Prakash Mirchandani, Naval, Amrita, you, and all of us put together, Srinivas, Praveen, everybody, when we thought about it, the purpose and ikigai of our Graceful Living webinar series was how do we engage people who are older, can't go to the temples, mosque, gurdwaras, whatever. They can't step down to Nana Nani Park. They're all enclosed at home. They are paranoid because some of them have comorbidities. And I think we definitely played a great role. And that purpose actually helped us because we were looking forward to every webinar and we learned more in the bargain and process to do that. And as far as concerned. And unfortunately, we don't have time for questions because I can see a couple of raised hands. But because we have always believed in keeping that tight timing in, because other panelists have to go also. But we would like to say that yes, Amrita, what you mentioned is each elder person, and I feel even a younger caregiver, if they have a purpose in life, they want to be a better human being, care for humanity. Money, paise दौड़ तो सब लोग चालू है. Everybody wants to make money. Nothing is wrong with it. Commercial interests, etc., etc. But beyond that, what is the purpose? And COVID taught us we are not going to take anything with us, and their mortality is facing us. So I think with all that, we would like to thank once again the wonderful panelists. Each one of you have explained it so beautifully. And again, thanks to Graceful Living. We are missing Mahinder Singh today of Able Living. He's been part of it. And again, like to thank the entire Chenrai family, Naval, Prakash Mirchandani, all of them for having put this together. And Amrita, we should continue as we have done and Prem to do that every 2 weeks as there was a pattern. Ki Saturday, her second Saturday means Graceful Living ka seminar hai, a webinar hai. And we'd encourage all of you all to please share the message. We will also share the recording or the link for those who have attended and those who have not attended in our social media. And with this, we would like to wrap it up. Thank you once again and have a lovely weekend. And those who are watching from USA, have a